Continuing out with our great American panel. All right, so Barack Obama and his economic team told us that we got to pass this stimulus bill. Of course, nobody read it. And we've got to pass it immediately or else unemployment may go to 9%. But if we pass it, it's only going to go to 8%. Now Obama's admitting that it's going to be 10% by the end of this year. Rubini, who predicted this economic crisis, he says it may hit 11%. So I'm thinking, the White House is saying things are getting better when all their projections have been this far off already so quickly?
Well, and that's the thing. That's what they have to say now, because the numbers as far as the jobless rate, actually the stimulus package, they promised it wouldn't go over 8%. We're at 9.4% now. But their big spin word now is the create or save jobs, the econometrics of it. That's like the shell game, the econometrics. That's the big Obama word for, we can't really quantify it, we can't really hold us accountable, but take our word for it.
No. To me, it just is not even about, it doesn't matter to them. I think, in a way, what matters is passing through the hugest kind of reform in government that you've ever seen. The Russians are doing a better job at capitalism than we are. Right now, if you go to Russia, they're letting the businesses fail, and it's thriving, and it's the way you should do this. They want to nationalize our energy program, nationalize. Well, that's a different issue. You know what I mean? There's always payola anywhere. You know what I mean? Whatever it might be. But here, we're going for a nationalization. They even said over there that this is the fastest Marxist turnover in government that you're ever going to see. So, I mean, and now with the health care issue.
Well, to each according to his need, from each according to his ability. But you know what? How can you be off so far in a year and not be held accountable?
First of all, it's not that far off, okay?
It's not that far off. He said it wouldn't go above 8%.
Secondly, it would be going even higher if we didn't have the stimulus. And third, it's not all stimulus. A lot of that money was for unemployment, extended unemployment compensation, for extended health care, and you called it welfare. Governor Sanford called it welfare.
Can I tell you what it is?
It's to give longer unemployment
I'll give you a better
to
name.
the workers who are being laid off.
We're stealing from our children and grandchildren. We're robbing them of their future. Yeah. Last point on that.
They said the same thing about Ronald Reagan.
This economic crisis, I want to ask you a question. Since the Great Depression, where does this current economic crisis stand in terms of over the last?
It looks like it's going to be the worst recession since the Great Depression.
It's number 25.
Right.
So far, it's on 25th. We've had 25 worse recessions since today.
And the CBO says that it's going to be worse because we're doing all of this and spending all of this money. So that's what the CBO.
That's what's making it go back.
All right, let me just to make Steve happy. John Ensign admitted to an affair. Nevada Senator, let's roll the tape.
It's absolutely the worst thing that I've ever done in my life. If there was ever anything that I could take back in my life, this would be it. I take full responsibility for my actions. I know that I have deeply hurt and disappointed my wife, Darlene, my children, my family, friends, my staff, and all those who believed in me.
You know, Steve, he could have said, well, we were alone, but I didn't really think we're alone, me and this little hot chick. You know, that's what your president said.
Look, I don't believe that sex ought to be part of politics. I'm not pleased that he had to come out and admit this. I'm not pleased he had to give up his fourth-ranking position in the Senate Republican leadership. He was a would-be presidential candidate, and I figured now he's probably next in line to Newt and his three wives.
There was your cute line. But isn't it show about a person's character? I mean, if you're dishonest to your closest family and you can't keep your word, doesn't it matter?
Certainly it matters. And person's, of course, he's also very, not only conservative, but a strong leader, right, and very Christian.
Yeah, absolutely, it matters, and it's unfortunate that, I mean, and you have to hold people that have that belief to a higher standard. Right. Berlusconi said something very funny and interesting. He said that if we investigated my whole government, we wouldn't have one in terms of that issue.
Guys, good to see you.